Tulsa is full of architecture you can't find nearly anywhere else. Tulsa has one of the largest concentrations of Art Deco architecture, the preferred style of the time, in the United States. However, just as interesting as Tulsa's beautiful skyline is what lies beneath many of the famous buildings.
It's a great door, great steel door. So come on in. This is private. It's always locked on the other end.
But before we get to that, you must know this man, Waite Phillips.
We were so fortunate to have that Phillips family as part of our community for a time. Waite Phillips was one of 10 siblings. His oldest brother was Frank, and Frank Phillips put his house up in the Bartlesville area, starting Phillips Petroleum, evolving into Phillips 66.
Waite, however, set up his business in Tulsa. Striking it rich, Waite Phillips built the Phil Tower in 1928 as his personal office building, along with a lavish mansion known as Villa Philbrook, and in 1931 another office building across the street from the Phil Tower, known as the Philcade. In 1938, during the Great Depression, Waite Phillips and his wife Genevieve donated Philbrook to the city of Tulsa as a museum and moved into a newly added penthouse on the top of the Philcade building directly across the street from his office high-rise.
There he is, that he would kiss his wife Genevieve every day over there in the penthouse of the Philcade building. He'd go down to the basement of the Philcade, and then he'd come underneath 5th Street, which is through this private tunnel. He'd get through this great steel door and go, "Whew, I've made it another day." He was safe. So come on in. This is private. It's always locked on the other end. And that was just back in the day when so many wealthy people in Tulsa and throughout the world were having their money stolen or their family members kidnapped for ransom money. Supposedly, he had another tunnel from his office building, the Phil Tower building, that went underneath the street of Boston to the bank that stood across the street. And I've looked and looked for that tunnel and I couldn't find it, but about a year ago, had a group of engineers come through. These guys were huge and they filled this space. Every one of them came in, they started banging on the walls. So listen to what I heard. They were banging all the way here. So this is hollow. And every one of those engineers went, that's it. He had a tunnel within a tunnel that went underneath the street of Boston, and that's for his own safety to go to the bank that stood across the street. So our guess is this tunnel was built late in the 30s, if not maybe early in the 1940s.